What if everything you're chasing is actually pushing what you want further away? Think about it. How often do we try to control every detail of life? We plan meticulously, overthink endlessly, and push ourselves harder and harder, believing that more effort means more results. But the truth? The harder we grip, the more things slip through our fingers. What if the secret isn't to do more, but to let go? This isn't about giving up. It's about surrendering the illusion of control and stepping into a mindset that's actually powerful. One rooted in clarity, calm, and deep confidence. The ancient Stoics, people like Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca, understood this better than anyone. They taught that peace comes not from controlling outcomes, but from mastering your inner world. And in this video, we're diving deep into that very shift, the one mindset change that can transform your entire life. From anxious and reactive to focused, free, and in control. But before we start, if you find value in content that goes deeper than just surface-level motivation, if you're looking to actually change the way you live and think, go ahead and hit subscribe. It helps us bring these ideas to more people who truly need it. We spend our lives obsessing over results, waiting for the offer, worrying about the relationship, stressing if our hard work will pay off. And when things don't go our way, we spiral. What did I do wrong? Why isn't it happening for me? But here's the truth the Stoics knew. It's not events that disturb us, but our attachment to how we think things should go. Epictetus said it perfectly. Do not seek for things to happen the way you want them to. Rather, wish that what happens as it should, and your life will go smoothly. That's not passivity. That's power. You focus on your actions, your mindset, your effort, the process, and you let go of the outcomes you were never meant to control in the first place. Let me give you a quick example. Imagine an artist painting a masterpiece. If they obsess over perfection, worrying what people will think, their creativity gets blocked. But the moment they let go, trust the process, and simply immerse themselves in the act of creating, they enter flow. Ironically, that's when the best work is born. The same applies to life. When you're detached from the result, you become powerful, present, and unshakable. In relationships, for example, when someone tries too hard, when their energy feels desperate or needy, it pushes people away. But someone calm, grounded, and unattached to the outcome, they attract others effortlessly. Why? Because they aren't led by fear. They trust. That's the power of detachment. Now let's talk about success. So many people believe they've failed if they haven't achieved a certain milestone by a specific age. Whether it's income, marriage, status, or recognition. They treat life like a checklist, and if they fall behind, anxiety, self-doubt, even shame. But life doesn't follow timelines. Success isn't linear, and oftentimes our biggest breakthroughs come when we stop forcing and start flowing. Ask yourself, what goal or expectation are you holding on to so tightly that it's draining you? Now imagine what it would feel like to loosen that grip, not to give up, but to trust that whatever happens, you'll handle it, you'll learn, you'll grow. That's not weakness, that's strength. So how do you practice this mindset? Here are 3 powerful shifts you can make today. Accept what you can't control. Remind yourself daily, outcomes are out of your hands. Your real power lies in effort, attitude, and how you show up. Reframe your thoughts. Instead of saying, I need this to happen, say, I trust that whatever happens is happening for me, not to me. Stay present. Anxiety lives in the future. Regret lives in the past. Peace that only exists right now. Let's be honest, life will test you. Some days will flow, others will feel like an uphill battle. But what separates those who thrive from those who crumble is mindset. William James once said, "The greatest weapon against stress is our ability to choose one thought over another." And that's exactly what the Stoics taught. You are not your thoughts. You can challenge them, reframe them, replace them. For example, let's say you're struggling at work. You've made mistakes. You feel under pressure. The default reaction might be, "I'm not good enough. I'm failing." But what if you said, "This is teaching me. Every struggle is making me stronger." That's a growth mindset. That's detachment from perfection. That's Stoic power. Seneca once said, "Difficulties strengthen the mind as labor does the body." You don't grow without resistance. You don't evolve without discomfort. And you don't become truly powerful until you stop letting the world dictate your inner peace. So here's the takeaway. Stop chasing. Stop clinging. Start trusting. You are not here to control ever. Have you ever walked into an interview feeling ready, resume on point, answers practiced, only to feel your confidence collapse the moment you step in? Suddenly your thoughts spiral. What if I mess up? What if I don't get it? You start overanalyzing, tensing up, trying to control every move. And ironically, that need for control makes you perform worse. But what if the key to success wasn't control at all? What if the key was letting go? When you pause, breathe deeply, and trust that you've done the work, something shifts. You walk in calmer, grounded, clear, and more often than not, you do better. That shift from control to trust is exactly what the Stoics taught over 2,000 years ago. They called it the dichotomy of control. Focus only on what's in your power, your mindset, your actions, your effort. Let go of the rest. Outcomes, opinions, results, not yours to command. Trying to control what you can't only leads to stress. But letting go, that creates space for peace and often better results. Acceptance isn't weakness, it's power, because life won't always follow your plan. But that doesn't mean it's going wrong. Some of the best destinations are reached through detours. And when you stop resisting what you can't change, you gain the power to respond wisely. This mindset shift goes deeper than just interviews or big moments. It's a way of living. Have you ever noticed how some people seem to attract success, opportunities, even happiness without chasing it? It's not luck, it's mindset. The way they think, the energy they give off, it pulls people and possibilities in. They operate from abundance. But others, maybe even you, get stuck in scarcity, always thinking, "I'm not enough." There's never enough. Things never go my way. And guess what? That belief becomes a filter. You don't just feel lack, you start creating it. The Stoics understood this long before modern psychology. Epictetus said, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." Real abundance isn't about getting more. It's realizing how little you need and how much you already have. When you stop obsessing over what's missing, you begin to see what's always been there, the chances you didn't notice, the people who cared, the strength within you. It's like tuning into a new frequency. Opportunities, kindness, connection, they start to appear because now you can see them. The Stoics understood this long before modern psychology. Epictetus said, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." Real abundance isn't about getting more. It's realizing how little you need and how much you already have. When you stop obsessing over what's missing, you begin to see what's always been there, the chances you didn't notice, the people who cared, the strength within you. It's like tuning into a new frequency. Opportunities, kindness, connection, they start to appear because now you can see them. Picture two people walking into the same room. One is filled with doubt, constantly comparing themselves, focused on what they lack. Their energy is heavy, and without realizing it, they repel connection. The other walks in with quiet confidence, not arrogance, just belief. They speak, they listen, they engage. Their energy attracts others. Same room, different outcomes. Why? Mindset, energy, alignment. Here's the hardest truth. Chasing can backfire because desperation is different from discipline. Have you ever obsessed over a goal, followed every strategy, hustled endlessly, and still felt stuck? That's what happens when effort turns into force. Seneca said, "Effort and patience achieve more than force and anxiety." There's a difference between aligned action and desperate action. Aligned action flows. It builds. Desperate action burns out. Just like falling asleep, try too hard and you'll stay awake. But when you let go, it happens naturally. It's the same with love, creativity, success. You can't force magic. You can only create the conditions and trust it will arrive. So how do you shift into this mindset? Gratitude. Not once a year, every day. Start noticing what's already good. It trains your brain to see abundance. Act like you already have enough. Show up with confidence. Speak with belief. Stop waiting for permission. Let go of outcomes. You're not here to force destiny. You're here to live with intention and trust what's aligned will find you. Maybe your career feels stuck. You've been pushing hard, doing everything right, and still feel behind. What if instead of chasing, you aligned? Trust your preparation. Focus on your craft. Let the right doors open on their own timeline. Marcus Aurelius said, "Do what you must and let what happens happen." That's aligned action. That's the Stoic path. Life isn't about controlling everything. It's about mastering yourself. Shift from fear to trust, scarcity to abundance, force to flow, and everything changes. You stop chasing, you start attracting, you stop forcing, you start aligning. That's the path. That's your power.